Okay, boss. So we have to deal with data manipulation statements. So once we're good at this, then when we get into SQL scripting, we'll touch on functions and stored procedures again. Because when you got to create your procedures of functions, we need to have scripting. Okay. Now we've seen about DDL statements, data definition language statements. Then we got to look at data manipulation. When you say data manipulation, you're going to manipulate your data, what we have in your database tables. Let's say I have a table. You would like to insert new record into the table. Then, or you want to delete some records in the table, or you want to select, or you want to read some records, or you want to update some records. So when you want to manipulate those records in the database tables, we go with what? Data manipulation statements. Okay. Now, the first one, we have all this often: delete, explain, plan, insert, load, merge delta, replace. We have upsert, select, truncate table, unload, and update. As we know, delete is for deleting the records from the table. Okay. It's not for deleting the table, deleting the records from the table. When you want to delete the data from the table, we use this delete option. So delete option can, and we also have something called truncate table. Even truncate table is also used for deleting the data in the table. Major difference would be in the delete, you can apply where clause, but in the truncate, you cannot apply where clause. When you say truncate table, the only option is it deletes all the data from the table. But when you want to delete only certain records of a table, it has to be so truncate table will delete all the records from the table. And delete, we have an option of deleting all the records, or we also have an option of applying where clause where it does delete only certain records of the table itself. Okay. And one more thing, truncate data will not be able to roll back the data if you do truncate. P gada. Okay. See, when you say truncate, it actually deletes all. You cannot apply where clause on it, and you'll not be able to do even rollback also. But whereas delete, if you have this commit save point, we can roll back the data if required if it is deleted. And there is something called explain plan. Say for example, you have a select statement, which is actually performing a lot of operations. Like say you have got a lot of join operations, projections, where clause, conditioning, all this. And you would like to see what all operations have been performed, in what sequence those operations have been performed, then we can use, and at which operation it is taking what amount of time, then you can use explain plan to understand that. Okay, we can use explain plan to basically understand all this kind of operations within a select statement. Okay. Next, we have option called insert. Straightforward, it is about inserting data into the tables when you want to insert a new record. Now load. Okay. Then we have option called load, which is basically used to load the data into main memory. Let's say I have the table in the disk. See, generally what happens when you restart, when the server is started, all the system tables are loaded into main memory by default initially, and it also loads the column store tables into main memory for which the preload flag is enabled. Okay, then other tables are not loaded; they'll be in disk bus. Then where they're in the disk, when you input your query during first fetch from the table, it actually loads into main memory bus. First time when you try to read data from the table, it actually loads data into main memory. That is what normally happens. But apart from this, if you already identified that there's some table really important and it has to be into main memory to improve the query performance, then you can explicitly use the statement saying load to explicitly load the table into main memory. Okay. Then we can do full load or we can do partial load also. Okay, fine. Then we have a concept called merge delta. Then we have a concept called merge delta. We know this because in case of column store table, it will have main store and it will have what? Delta store. And delta is more optimized for writing and main is optimized for reading. So all the write operations goes to delta and all the read operations goes through main and delta both. So asynchronously you perform delta merge where it writes data from delta to main bus. And we know we have different options of doing merge, delta merge, like say auto merge, and then we have smart merge, all this. So by using this merge delta, we're going to perform the merging on the table bus. Okay. Okay. Next, we have something called upsert. Normally, when you say insert, it updates a new record. Sorry, it inserts a new record. And when you say update, you're updating the existing record what is already there. But upsert is actually a combination of both insert and update. For example, if I say upsert this record, if you already have a record with this primary combination, it updates it. If you don't have a record with this primary combination, it actually does an insert. Let's say you say upsert this record bus. If you already have a record with the same primary key combination, it updates it. If not, it actually does an insert. That is upsert. Actual combination of both update and insert. Straightforward selecting. బాగా తెలిసింది ఇదే కానీ ఇదే కాంప్లెక్స్ ఇదే మనకు రాదు ఫుల్గా. ఓకే, if you're really strong at this point, I think nothing else. Very emotional. If you're really strong at select, I think you can play with anything else. Are they easy? Are they tough actually? Okay. So select is for what? To read data from your database table. So when you want to read query or when you want to read data from a table, we use what? Select statement. Then unload. You want to drop the data from the main memory, then we use unload. Generally, what happens if you don't unload it manually, how does it unload? Every table would have an unload priority. Depending on the usage of the memory, system will unload the table the table with the highest unload priority. But if you don't want the system, if you manually want to unload it, then you can explicitly use a statement unload this table so that the table is dropped from the main memory. Explicitly you want to load or unload, then we use these two statements. Load is for loading into main memory. Explicitly you want to unload the data from the main memory, then use what? Unload. Okay. Then we have a statement called update, which is straightforward, which is to update an existing record what already we have. Say we already have a record in the table, you would like to modify that record or update the record, then we use update statement. Okay. First, let's get with insert. So I'm just creating some table with 4 columns in it: order ID, order date, net sales, and region. And where order ID is the primary key. So I'm just creating this table. And then I would like to insert data from this table. So this table has got no records, no? It just has been created. Now I'm going to insert this. So one way of inserting, look at this. So you want to insert all the values of the column. Say, I have a table with 4 columns, right? You're trying to insert a record where you're passing values for all the 4 columns of the table. So I've got order ID, order date, um, net sales, and region. And you're trying to insert a record which has got value for all the 4 columns. So you want to pass on value for all the column values. Yeah. Then it'll say straight away like this: insert into what is this? Name of the table, and we use the keyword values, and you pass on the list of values. Say value for column 1. See, it has to be in sync. Okay. Correspondingly, say now the value what is specified first will go and sit into what? First column by default. The second value will go and sit into second column. The third value will go and sit into third column. Fourth value will go and sit into fourth column by default. That is what understood. That's where when you're inserting a record where you're filling all the values of the column, all column values, then you don't have to specify column names. It is understood explicitly that value 1 will go and sit into column 1, value 2 will go and sit into column 1 correspondingly. Okay. Now look at this. And then whenever we know this, right? All alphanumeric data must be in single quotes, and numeric value will be without single quotes. That's it. See, one was an order ID which is integer, so I've just not put in single quotes. But order date is a varchar, so I'm just putting that in what? Single quotes. Again, net sales was a numeric decimal, so I'm just putting normal without single quotes. Again, region was a varchar, I just put that in single quotes. Okay, was? Let's select this and say what? Execute. Now this should insert one record into this table. But after inserting, did I do anything like commit? Did I execute any statement like commit was? Then how was commit happened? Remember I told you the properties of this editor, auto commit is switched on. So automatically the commit is getting executed. I don't have to execute commit. That is one way of inserting. So next thing is I would like to insert another record. But for this record I would like to insert only values for order ID and net sales only. So if I just say like this, in this case, insert into table and say values, I'm just passing only 2 values. One is 2 and one is what? 20,000. But actually what I mean is the value 2 should be inserted into which column? Order ID. 20,000 should get into net sales. But in the previous case, when I was passing values for all the 4 columns, it understands correspondingly. First value goes to first column, second value goes to second column. But here, actually what is required? The second value actually is supposed to go to what? Third column. The net sales is third column. Right? In that case, you explicitly specify the column names to which you are inserting in. So insert into table, and my insert operation is getting done only for these 2 columns, and values are this. So 2 will go and sit into what? Order ID, and 20,000 will go and sit into net sales. If you're inserting value for all the columns, I don't have to list out the column names. But if you're inserting only values only for specific columns of the table, then you have to explicitly list out the column names and say values, and these are the values. So these correspondingly, the first value will go and sit into first column here, and second value will go and sit into the second column. Okay, boss? Okay, see, now it just insert the record only where order ID is filled and net sales is filled. Okay. The blank any control. Okay. Hmm. Now look at the next case. Next way of inserting. Let's say I got one more table, and I'm just inserting some 4 records into the table. So I've got a table called demo for data, and the structure of this table is here. And I've got another table called demo insert. The next way of inserting is through sub-selectives. So I would like to read data from this table. So to read, what do? You use select statements. So select star from some table. And the result, what are the result set you get from the select? I would like to use it to insert data into this table. So I would like to insert data into this table based on the result set of a select statement. నాకు సెలెక్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఉంది, దాని నుంచి వచ్చే రిజల్ట్ ద్వారా ఈ టేబుల్కి ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలి. Okay, so the other way of doing is through select. Now I'll say. Now this was my table demo. So if we just take this select statement, if you just run this select, it just gives me what? Those 4 records with those 5, 6, 7, 8. I just have to read these 5 records like this with the select and go about inserting into what? Which table? Demo insert. So what I'll say? Insert into, what is it? Demo insert. And take this select. See, here am I using the keyword values? If I'm inserting by explicitly passing values, I use a keyword values. Otherwise, no. I'm trying to insert data into this table called demo insert, not by explicitly passing the values based on the result of a select statement. So I don't use a keyword values here. So it executes this select statement, collect, and based on the result set of this select, it does go about inserting data into demo insert. Since I'm not explicitly inserting by specifying a list of values here, I don't use a keyword values here. Okay. I just insert into this based on this select statement. If that is done, now I should see those 4 records inserted. So I can say insert into table values so and so, or if you are inserting only for values for certain columns, then you say insert into table so and so columns, values, and this is what. But if you're not specifying, passing out any list of values, then what you do? You just basically specify the sub-select directly. You don't use the keyword values in that. Okay, boss. This is fine for an update insert. Then I would like to deal with update. Boss. What you can do is you can write a function. See, there will be 2 types of functions. There will be 2 types of function. Anytime you define a function, it must return one parameter. Mandate. This parameter could be scalar data type, or table type. Scalar means normal variable of data, var, or integer, whatever it is. If it is table type, it is going to give set of rows. So I can refer that function as a table result set row. Then I can say, so you create a function which will return a table for you, and say select star from function name. So within the function you write any logic you I can do, but not the procedure can only be triggered with call function. It cannot be called out from a select statement. In case of function, I can use function within the column list of a select statement, or from clause, or where clause, or in the join clause also. Function. So you're saying I have some logic and I need to get the result of that logic and insert into a table. Then what do you do? In this case, you can use a function. Whenever you define a function, it must return out one parameter, whether it could be normal variable type or table type. Table type means it is going to give you list of rows. List of rows, set of columns is like a table only. So you can do a select on that function which is returning a table type parameter. Then use the result of that select as a sub query for your insert statement. That way you can use. Next, update statement. Okay, boss. Next, we go deal with update. What is the purpose of update schedule? Just to modify an existing record in a table. You are able to understand this basic selector. I'm saying select star from this table where order ID equal to 1 and 10. This is like in this table, I just want to see the record where order ID is 1. So I can see there, or I can just fire this select. This is what it is. Yeah. Now what it is for this record 1? What is this region here? South. I would like to modify that as east. Okay. So simple, straightforward. I'll say update the table name. Which table you would like to update? Now within this table, for which column we would like to modify? Set region equal to east. Why did I put this region in double quotes and east in single quotes? Region is an identifier. It's a name of the field or name of the column or name of the table. And east is the values, string value. Okay. So if I just leave it like this, what will happen? If I just update this table, and the update is set region equal to east, then what it's going to do? It's going to update region as east for all the records. But I want this to happen for explicitly for one record. So I'll say where order ID is equal to 1. Okay. And why do I put 1 as without single quotes? Because order ID is integer. That's why without single quotes. Okay. So this has to modify the record from south to east. So update the table name what you would like to update. Set, use a keyword set, specify the column and the value for it. And generally it goes about applying it on every row. But if you want to restrict this update to be applied on a particular row, then you use what? Where clause. So is it that I can update only a single column, or we can also update multiple columns also? If you look at the second record, order ID, I've got region and date as blank. Now I would like to fill those region and date. Okay. See both. So I'll say update this table, and the set operator where region is equal to east, separated by comma, and then you can specify one more. What is it? Order date is equal to so and so date. And then and this I want this effect to be applied only for record where row ID is 2. So I'll say where row ID is equal to 2. Okay. So like this you can update multiple columns also, not only single. Set up updates see the date and what? The region also. Next. Okay. Now focus on this. I'm going to have two tables here. One is say demo update as one table, and another table is demo update 2. Okay. I'm just creating this, and both the tables has got only 2 columns, key and val, and here it is key and values. Okay. Let me just create these tables and then insert. In this table, I'm just inserting only value for what? Key as 1, 2, 3. And in this table, I'm going to create insert data for look for next element. Okay.
Hello.
Mute this model. Okay. So we have demo update table where only key is filled. Now val is blank. Now I would like to use update statement and fill the value for values. I have some logic. I just want to take the key, add a 10, and then insert the two values. So we can also perform some calculations while updating into a table also. So I'm saying like this: update this table, set val equal to what? Key plus 10. And did I use any where clause here? No. So it is going to affect all the rows of the table. So I'm going to say set the value, the column double quotes, but you get special character layout. Either I put double quotes or not, doesn't make sense. If there's any special character in the column name identified, then double quotes makes mandatory. But okay, set val is equal to key plus 10. So that's it. I can also use arithmetic operators like this. Okay, boss. Next, I want to update with lookup. Okay. So look at this. I've got table called demo update. Okay. I've got table called demo update 2. Okay. Now demo update 2. The structure of both the tables are pretty much same, key and val. Now I would like to fill the value for this column called val by performing lookup bus. So I would like to take this from demo update 2, refer this key, perform a lookup to this demo update based on the key, get this value and update this value to this value. Lookup JC, update this column. Okay, boss. Even this can be done. Normally, when you're writing select, you join. So what you do is, normally I'll say, can I join these two tables saying demo update dot key is equal to demo update 2 dot key. So I can combine those records based on this. Then refer the demo update dot val to update what? Demo update 2 dot val. Get that logic? I would say I would like to insert data into which table? Demo update 2. Set val is equal to what? Set val is equal to value from demo update, where demo update 2 dot val is equal to demo update 2 dot val and type. That's it. Now look at this. Saying update. So ultimately you want to update which table? Think logically. You want to perform updation on which table? Update to. Okay. Then set. You want to update which column in this? Val. And what is the value you would like to assign to val? What is the value you would like to update this by assigning some value? What value do you want to assign? Val from which table? Demo update. So val is equal to demo update dot val. So now you're referring from two tables. Then I'll have to specify the condition saying where demo update and demo update 2 from these two tables, where demo update 2 dot key is equal to demo update dot key. It's almost like writing an inner join on these two tables. The logical is simple. You want to update this demo update to table, and I would like to set this value column value for this table as value from demo update table, and where I'm reading data from both these tables, and the join condition is key dot table 1 equal to key dot table 2. ఆ కీ బేస్ మీద రెండు టేబుల్స్ జాయిన్ అయితే దీంట్లో ఉన్న వాల్యూ వచ్చి దానికి పడుతుంది. So we can also update with lookups also. So the same value gets filled in. We can also have an updates like this. Okay.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yeah.
Here, same data we are maintaining two tables, right? So data redundancy is there. Right? In which scenario we are using?
I'm just trying to show you that you can have updates like this. ఇలా చేయొచ్చు అంటాం అంతే.
Okay.
తినారంటే మనకు అవసరం వచ్చారు మనకు తెలియదు, బట్ you will have this kind of scenario. అంటే lookups అనేది కామన్, pretty common. ఎలాంటి సినారియోలో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇలా ఉందనుకోండి, నాకు కీస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఓకే, వేరే కాలమ్స్ ఏమున్నాయి, వాట్ లైక్ సే కాలం 1, కాలం 2 అండ్ కాలం 3 చాలా ఉన్నాయి, కీ ఉంది, డిస్క్రిప్షన్ లేదు. I've got data filled in all these columns. దీంట్లో అంతా డేటా ఉంది, డిస్క్రిప్షన్ మాత్రం ఖాళీగా ఉంది. Generally in case of normal database or BW, what you do, you store key
master
and a description as a text table, yeah, and then you in the reporting you basically join and then display. But for me, my HANA database is a column store table. I really don't want to perform any join operation at the reporting time. HANA supports columnar storage. You can store data in any denormalized format. It can handle the performance, right? And moreover, if I can put all my data into one table, I'm eliminating join operations during query runtime.
Okay.
Why do you want to? Simple question, boss. Why do you want to store in 2 different tables and join during runtime? Why? When you're dealing with traditional databases, we store data in 2 different tables and you want to join at the runtime of the query. Why do you want to do that? Enthusiasm. To avoid redundancy, just to normalize, in order to normalize your database, because other database they support row store. In order to reduce redundancy, to normalize your tables, what you do is store this data into different table and then join during runtime of the query. But for me, even if you store data in a denormalized format, my system, my columnar storage of column 12 table will not occupy any space for it. It only stores only distinct values of that column, like an index. Now I have the flexibility of making my table denormalized. I don't mind making it denormalized. So what I'll do, based on this key, I'll look up to this table and fill what? Fill even the descriptions also. So I might have to write a script procedure where I take this key value, perform a lookup into this, join both of the tables, get the description from here and store it. Why are you doing now? You have this table, right? Why do you want to do that? Because I'm bringing it here because at the runtime of the query, I don't have to join this table. In the universe or in HANA modeling, I'll not join these 2 tables. Straight away, I'll have a queries running on this table. I'm doing that now. Instead of having 70, 80 tables joining, making it complex, I don't do that. I don't have so many joins. But some data OD table case, I've literally observed when we inserted some 10 records, it was occupying some say 20 KB bus. Varsa chesam inga 200 records chesam ante undi 10 KB now. Because the 10 records what I inserted had the same set of characteristic values. Only the keywords was changing. So the keyword for 100 cells did not occupy much space. Okay, no? Can we update table in UI? Where am I put that? You cannot update. I don't think you can update. So if you have this record, you can say insert statement. It forms this insert statement and you can give a different values and insert. But I don't think you can update this record. SQL level, okay. But you can export that insert statement if required. Okay, boss. అప్పుడు చదివే చేస్తాను ఒకరు ఓకే కదా. ఇఫ్ ఐ సే ఆర్డర్ ఐడి ఈక్వల్ టు 2 అని అనుకో, ఆ ఒక్క రోకే అప్డేట్ అవుతాం కదా. ఏమని కంప్లీట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏంది, సెట్ రీజన్ ఈక్వల్ టు దిస్, ఆర్డర్ ఐడి ఈక్వల్ టు దిస్, కామా ఇంకోటి ఏముంది, ఆర్డర్ డేట్ ఈక్వల్ టు రీజన్, నెట్ సేల్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు దిస్ అంటే అయిపోయింది. మొత్తం కాలం రో పెట్టినట్టే కదా. 100 rows మాత్రం నీకు అప్డేట్ జరగాలి. ఆ 50th రో నీకు ఎట్లా తెలుసు? ఎట్లా గుర్తిస్తావు? ప్రైమరీకి ఉండాల్సింది ఏదో ఒకటి అది చెప్తే రాయడం ఇంకా వేర్ రో ఐడి ఈక్వల్ టు 50th అంటే ఇంకా ఆ రికార్డుకి మాత్రం అప్డేట్ అయింది. నువ్వు మనసులో అనుకుంటే కదా, సిస్టమ్ చెప్పాలి ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్పాలి. అదేం లేదు, అది రిఫ్రెష్, అది ఏదైతే అప్డేట్ జరుగుతుందో అది కిందకి వస్తూ ఉంటుంది అంతే. లేట్ ఏం పైకి తెచ్చేది ఏముంది, ఆర్డర్ బై కీ కొడితే పైకి వస్తుంది. ఇది లోపల సిస్టమ్ ఇట్లా ఉండవు, ఇది నీకు కనిపించే వరకే. నీకు ఎట్లా కనపాలి చెప్పు, అట్లా చూపించచ్చు. అది పెద్ద కథ.
Sir, please, if you can speak in English, we can all benefit.
No, he was just what they're saying is about insert. Okay, they were asking me this. Let's say I have this record number 5, right? Let's say I would like to change this region as east. Say order ID as 5. So once I do once update, you see this record at the bottom, not at the top. Okay, so why it is showing bottom? So there's never a control in the backend system how it is stored. Okay, it is only for your display. You can display it any way you want. Okay. That is all only for display. Now where is it showing? Why and okay. So it is only display. It doesn't mean, see, if you're seeing some data, it doesn't mean that it is storing in the same way internally. It is completely structured in different way in the backend, in the memory. But when it is showing you, it is basically formatting that way and then showing you as a matrix.
So while using update statement, we need to use a full primary key or a partial primary key also can use update statement in where condition.
You can use primary key, you can use non-primary key, you can use partial key, anything you want, you can use. But based on the condition you specify, those rows are affected. Suppose if you specify partial key, what will happen? There might be multiple records which are satisfying that condition. So it updates all those records.
Okay, fine.
Then there's something called upsert. అంతే కదా, ఇంటర్నల్ టేబుల్ అయితే మోడిఫై, డేటాబేస్ టేబుల్ అయితే అప్డేట్. నెక్స్ట్ అదే upsert. So next we're going to deal with something called upsert. Okay. So he is asking me a question. So I'm trying to update certain record. You specified a where clause saying where order ID equal to 1, but there is no record with order ID 1. Then what happens? Right? So now that's where we use upsert. Say for example, I'm trying to modify a record with order ID is 1. If it is not there, it has to insert as a new record. If it is already there, it has to do an update. So that is what upsert. Upsert is actually a combination of both update and insert. Now look at this. I have table demo update 2. Do you already have a record with key as 1? Do we already have a record with key as 1? Yes. Now he's saying like this. Upsert this table, okay, with value. Normally, how do you speak? It's like more like insert statement syntax only. Values 1 and 90. 1 will go with what? Key, and 99 will go with what? Val. We are saying explicitly where key is equal. You can say with explicitly or no need. Okay, where you say key equal to 1. Suppose if there is already record with key equal to 1, it goes and modifies that record. If there is no record with key equal to 1, then it goes and inserts. Now, do we already have a record with key equal to 1, boss? Yes. So what does it do? It has to do what? Modify that. 1 and 19. Okay. Now look at this. Now I'm trying to say upsert this table. Same insertable upsert, but the syntax is the same. upset this table values 9 and 99 where key is equal to 9. Do we have a key record with key equal to 9? No. What will this do now? This will go and insert as a new record. Okay, boss? You don't see. I don't see. Now you're saying with where key equal 9. You don't have to specify that. You just say with primary key. Then what happens when you say upset so and so values? I would like to insert 88 and 99 with primary. So check with primary key. So if you already have a record with 88, it goes and updates it. If not, it adds as a new record. So I don't have to say where clause explicitly also. So it is adding as 88 and 90. That is like upset. More or less like types of insert statement. Okay. And one more thing, you're asking about the record is not there. Very, very risky. In ABAP, you basically use size subRC or something to control that. Here at Lathen, you don't have something like this. So that is where the style of writing code would be slightly different when you're writing scripting. What I'm trying to do is, suppose I try to fire a select on a table and the table gives me 0 records, no records. It throws an error for me. Okay, I don't have anything like size subRC at Lathen. So what we are trying to do is, before running a select, firing a select on the table, first I'm saying select count of star with the same selections. Getting the count. If count is not equal to 0, then only I'm going to fire that selection. Otherwise, I'll not fire that. And when the count is 0, then I can raise a signal or a control raise an exception saying no records in this table. If you stay to execute, you cannot control the error bus. That's so you got first we are doing that way. First we get trying to get the count of records from the table. If the count is 0, we are raising exception no records. If the count is not 0, then we are going through the select statement. That's what we're trying to do. So we can also do an upset with subquery also, like insert, upset this table, and you can have sub select statements. You can have result of select statement can be used for doing an upset also, same like insert. Okay, boss. Next is about selectors. I'm going to use 3 tables. One is this. What is customer table? So you got to be really strong with the data and the definition to be good. So I've got 8 columns here. What is it? Customer ID, city ID, country ID, region ID. Then company name is like customer name, city name, country name, and what? Region name. And this is my data. There are around 120 records in this table. How many customer IDs was? Yeah, double again. There's one more. Okay, so I have got this table customer, which has got 120 customers in it. Okay, boss. And for each customer, you get to know the city, country ID, and region ID, name of the customer, city name, country name, and region name here. Okay. Then I have got a table called product. So I get to see product ID, category, the name of the product, category name of the product description, and then you also have what is to which line of the product, is it belongs to sports or electronics or what it is. We have all this here. That's fine. Then I have a table called fact sales, which actually holds the complete order ID information. So you'll have order ID, and you can know product ID, to which product does this order ID belong to, customer ID. Then we have all the transactional figures like quantities and net sales here in this table. So you're going to leverage these three tables for practicing on select statements. Okay. See, from till now, whenever you were referring to a database object, you're saying schema name dot table, schema name dot table, right? Means what? Whenever you refer to any database object, you must qualify that with the schema name. Instead of me writing schema name every time, what I can do, since I'm going to write some select statement or whatever it is, or SQL statements where I'm going to refer to the tables or database objects of a particular schema. In that case, instead of writing schema name dot table, schema name dot table, I can just use this. What is set schema? If I say set schema for this session, the schema is set as what? Cubex SQL. Now from now onwards, whenever I refer to a database object, it is assumed to be of that schema Cubex SQL. So from then now onwards, I don't have to write saying that is valid only for this session. Again, if you open another session, again you have to set the schema. Yeah. Okay, boss. You set the sessions and this is how the select syntax looks like now. Look at this. Very boss. A SQL student raakunda select out vaste kuda bari handle cheyachu. This is main important. Okay. Select is a keyword. Okay. In the next part of the syntax, you specify select class. The other telusu kan okasari cheptanu. Okay. Columns list means you list out after select statement. In the next part of the syntax, you list out all the columns what you would like to read. If you say star, you won't read all the columns of the table, or if you want certain columns of the table, you list out the columns. And for these columns, you can have alias names. You can use as operator and give an alias name for that column, or you can use lots of functions, and all the stuff also can be leveraged. And you want to read only top 5 records, then I can use a keyword top 5. Or you want to read only distinct values, like unique values, then I can use a keyword distinct. All those can be leveraged here. Then from clause will tell you what. As part of from clause, you specify from which table are we reading from. So you might be reading from one table, or you might be reading from multiple tables. But with the from clause, you list out all the tables from where you're reading from. It could be a single table, or it could be multiple tables. Okay. And we have where clause. Now, by using where clause, you specify the restrictions or where conditions while reading data from this table. See, When you look at table, it logically you look at you have when you look at table, you'll have columns, you'll have rows. When you want to restrict on the number of columns what you want to read, we will specify that in what? Column class. So in the select class, you specify only those columns what you want to read. Now when you want to restrict your data on the row level, okay, then you go with what? Where class. So if I say, let's say you got 100 records, there are 24 records of south. Well, you got a column called region. There are 24 records where region is east, and there are 74 records where region is south. So if I say select so and so column from this table where region is equal to east, it is just going to give you 25. You're affecting a restriction on the row wise. Row wise filtering is with where class. Column wise filtering where you specify what column you want, you apply that with what? Column class. Column list class. Okay. I'll come to this group by. Then we have something called what is having class. Having and where is pretty much same. So we use where class or having class to when you want to do a row level restrictions. When you want to restrict the data at the row level of your table, we use where class or having class. Now, what is the difference between when do you go with where class? In the interview question generally, when do you go with where class or when do you go with having class? Say my requirement is this. I would like to apply filtering. I would like to apply a row level filtering. Then I can go with either having or where. If I want apply column level filtering, just choosing what columns I want, then it will be select class, right? So once you decide about applying row level filtering, now how to differentiate whether should I go with where or should I go with having class, right? Let's say you want to apply row level filtering based on non-aggregation field. Direct which cannot be aggregated. For example, I have a region, east plus south, you can't add it up, right? But if you see a numeric value like say net sales, if it's a sum of net sales, does it make sense? Yes, sum of quantities makes sense. Okay, good. Now you would like to apply row level filtering based on non-aggregation fields, then it will be where class. When you want to apply a row level filtering of the records based on aggregation field, like say where you would like to say where sum of net sales is greater than 50,000, where my sum of quantity is so and so. In that case, I would say go with having. I'll say having sum of net sales greater than 50,000. In this case what I want my keyword values to be aggregated. Then should I just apply my filtering? Then I would go with having. So got the point. So when you want to do a row level filtering, you would like to do row level filtering based on non-aggregation fields which cannot be aggregated. In that case, it will be where class. If you would like to apply row level filtering on a table based on the aggregation fields, or when you aggregation functions like say sum of net sales equal to so and so, or count of net sales should be so and so, whatever it is, then you go with what? Having class. Clear? Okay. Good. Next we have something group by class. Now we have group by class. See, look at this. I have like this. So now this is but because revise just okay. Okay. Now what I want to do is I have the data like this region and what something like say amount. What I want, instead of seeing the south of 3 records, I want the records to be grouped. Grouping JLs. Okay. Let me do grouping. Now you'll say even move south. If I want to combine these records, I want to group these records out. Now what will maintain this? Instead of writing south 3 times, I can just write south only once. Okay, write once. Then instead of writing amount 3 times, 1, 2, 3, I'll write only once. 1. Correct? No, right? Actually, all these 3 amounts, 1, 2, 3, all belong to south. If it is characteristic field, if it is non-aggregation field, you're able to group, saying the same value, you just make it as once. But when it comes to aggregation field, you have to add this out, right? Say sum of, I'll say what? Then it becomes what? 6. and say east as what. So in this case, what you're doing, you're basically aggregating this field amount. Records కలిపేస్తున్నావు రికార్డ్స్ కలిపేటప్పుడు క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ కలిపేటప్పుడు సేమ్ వాల్యూ అయితే ఒక రికార్డ్ గా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది అదే నంబర్లో అయితే ఇట్ మస్ట్ హ్యావ్ సమ్ అగ్రిగేషన్ కౌంట్ మిన్ మ్యాక్స్ it should have some aggregation functions when you're grouping those records. So now what is happening? I'm saying aggregate this amount. I'm just saying add this amount. If I just say add, then what is total amount? If I say sum of amount, it will be giving what? 9. Add this amount specific to region, I would make. If I just say sum of amount, that will give me 9 total. So I would say sum of amount group by regions. By creating a group for each region, perform my aggregation. That is where we use group by function. So whenever you're working with some aggregation functions, group by clause is mandatory. If whenever you're trying to have a select statement with aggregation functions accompanied with non-aggregation fields, then group by clause is mandatory. If I say select region, comma, sum of amount from this table, so then you have two columns. One is aggregated column, one is non-aggregation column. So this non-aggregation column must be specified in the group by clause to say the records have to be grouped by this field. Mandatory. But if you're just using only aggregation function, say select sum of amount from table, then you don't need group by. But if you want to say, if you want to accompany this aggregated field along with the non-aggregation field in the projection, then you must specify that non-aggregation field in the where group by clause. నేను చెప్పేది అర్థమైంది ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూసి అర్థమవుతుంది బట్ వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ బేసిక్లీ పర్ఫార్మింగ్ దిస్ అగ్రిగేషన్ ఫంక్షన్స్ యూ లైక్ టు సే ఐ వాంట్ దిస్ అగ్రిగేషన్ ఫంక్షన్ టు బి performed specific to this group, okay, then you go with what? Group by class. Okay. And we can also have multiple group sets also. Then we can use set operator like union all, intersect, except, and you have some set operator, like say you have multiple select statements. See, every select statement will give you some result set. Result set and select statement ద్వారా వచ్చే result ని మనం result set అంటాం. Let's say I've got two select statements. I would like to combine, each select set will give you one result set. I would like to unify both the result set. Then I use union. Then I've got two result set. I would like to take intersection of those intersection is common values among those result set, or I would like to take except. You have lots of operations can be used. That is where we use what? Set operators. Hello? Then we have order by. Basically, we use order by for what? Arrange the result set based on ascending order or descending order. Good. There is also an option called limit. A limit and there is something limit and offset into the option. For example, there is a table with 100 records. If I just say select star from the table, it don't give me all 100 records. I just want to read only 5 records. Then I'll say select star from this table. I'll say limit to 5. Then it will give me what? 5 records. Now I would like to read 5 records, but not the top 5. I would like to read 5 records from 5th record to 10th record. By eliminating first 5 records, I would like to read next 5 records. Okay? 6 record 6 నుంచి 11th వరకు read చేయాలనుకున్నా. Not to get confused with that 5. Then I'll say what? I'll say limit 5 records, offset 6. Now when I say offset 6, it will offset those first, it will eliminate those first 6 rows. After that, it will read 5 records. And this could be one logic, dynamic చేయొచ్చు. For example, say now I'll say limit 1, I'll say offset 0. What will happen now? It will read what? First record, right? If I say later, I'll say limit is always 1. I'll keep changing this option. Now it's say 1. Then it'll read what? Second record. If I say do third record. So I can, if I'm in a loop, I can keep changing this offset index and keep reading next record of a record. When I want to loop through the record of a table, I can also use this concept of limit and offset. Then we use cursor statement for it. But SAP says when you use cursor, the performance of the query is really bad. This could be another workaround without using cursors. If you want to loop through record by record of a table, this could be another workaround. Limit offset. I can keep change this number by having a variable, like I would say var underscore index something, and I use a for loop or something where the var index value keeps changing and then keep practicing next record by record. I can do.
I have one question.
Sir, there is a row num keyword. What is the difference between this offset and row num? Row num less than 100 something like that.
See, row number less. You see, there is a function called gen row number which will generate a row number for you. And that is moreover, it's a Windows function. When it's a Windows function, it has to have a partition block. Based on the partition, it starts giving you the row number. That is a function which will generate a unique row number for you. That's it. Yeah. Okay. This is what you're saying. Row.
No. I'm talking about row space num actually in select statement. Select star from some table and let's give 100 records, 99 records. In Oracle.
Row underscore num.
No. Row space num.
Row space num. Okay.
Yeah. Less than.
Okay.
Less than 100. So it will give 99 records.
నాకు 77 నుంచి 99 వరకు కావాలంటే
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. I know this one actually, row num less than 100, but the comparison of this offset and row num I don't have any. In general, for testing the data for limited records, if table has 1 lakh records, something like that, so testing purpose the data we can use this one row num. So testing for 5 records.
For us, we do not have. Here it doesn't work out.
This is in Oracle actually. Oracle.
This doesn't have.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I have a question regarding limit.
This is what I think. This is getting replaced. Here we use these options, limit and offset for the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sir, can I have one question regarding limit?
Yeah.
Yeah, this limit is same as fetch 5 rows from the table, or is that the same functionality, or this is a new functionality available in only HANA, this limit?
See, there's something like select, if I say, let me just show you, select star from custom. So I've got 120 records. It's going to show me all 120 here, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Now what I want, I say like this, top 5, yeah. Then what did it show?
It shows only top 5 records.
I want 5 records. Now I'd say, but I want 5, the point now here is, I want 5 records, not if I just say,
First 5 rows only.
If I say limit 5, even now it shows me 5 records. Which 5 records? First 5. But I would like to see last 5. I would say offset 115. Okay, I'll say limit 5 offset. It will offset 115 records, and then later it picks the next 5 records.
It reads from 116 to 120.
116 to 120. Yeah.
Yeah, here my question is, this limit function only available in HANA, or because I never see, I work with a database. So
even I never see, even I never saw this option with others. With HANA, I could see this option. Yes.
Can you use the first 5 rows of that function?
You want to see first 5 rows?
Yeah, function is first 5 rows.
Then offset is 0. Then you give first 5 rows.
No, what I'm asking is, will that function works here also? Just remove that limit 5 and offset 0.
Okay.
Just give that fetch first 5 rows only.
Then you have to use top 5.
No. Uh,
No, at the end, put the this one offset.
yeah, at the end,
Offset
you just
0.
use it.
0. Yeah, what will happen?
Even under 120 also, limit limit says no. Limit undal guarantee.
So it's a combination of using limit and offset is must.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But for looping, you'll put this as one fixed, okay? And you'll keep changing this offset and keeps getting into the next row. That's what I was saying. But you can use limit without offset. But you cannot use offset without limit.
So if you use only limit condition, say like 120 records, so it will give the 120 records irrespective of the order in the table.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. First 120 records.
Oh, it's a first 120 records means the top something like that. It's work like say top.
That's what it works like top. Yes.
No, I assumed that the combination of 120. If we are having in the table
No.
100.
See, if I say limit 5, it will show you first 5 records. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
If I say top 5, it will show you 5.
Same thing will happen.
1, 2, 3, 4. Same. No difference. But if you want to get 5 records after missing first 10 records, then I'll have to. This makes
Limit.
offset 10. Then it eliminates first 10 records. Then you start getting customer ID from 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
Sal, అదేం పెద్ద టాపిక్ కాదు. Okay. Okay, boss.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now let's go with one by one. Now first look at this. We have select star from table. Star ante when you want list read all the columns of the no columns are filtered, and I'm saying from this table. So as a select class, I'm just saying star instead of listing out all the column names. Star indicates all the columns first, and say from table. So table is what? Customer. So it does actually gives me how many rows? All rows. How many columns was? All columns. Since there is no where class, there is no row level filtering. So I've got all the 8 columns and all 120 rows. Okay, was fine. Yeah. Good. So next, my record is just showing me everything, right? Now I just want to read only this company names. From this table, I don't read all the columns. I just want to read only company name. Then where do you say? Instead of saying star, what do you say? And the company name. Yeah. Then I'll say what? So select in the select class. I start listing out only. Sorry, the company name, country name. I'm just reading what country name was. So select only this column name. So in this case, I'm doing column filtering. I'm just specifically reading only certain column from the table. So it just gives me only country names. But look at this. I'm just getting this name of the column as heading. I just want a different naming on. Say I want to say countries. Okay. So I would like to provide an alias name. So I'll say. So I'll just select country name, but while projecting out, I would like to project that with the naming as countries. Okay. So I can use as operator for as alias. So you get the column name projected as what? Countries. Yeah. But if you see, I see the duplicate countries here. I see US multiple times. You see, I see the country being repeated. I just want to see the distinct values, unique values, unique set of country names. Then what I can do, I can use this keyword, what? Distinct. When you say select distinct, it just shows me select distinct country name and project that as what? Countries from this table. From which table? Customer table. So this shows only unique ones. Okay. When it's showing these unique ones, if I want to sort them out, then I can use order by. I'll come to that. I can say order by what? What is the word order by? If I just leave it blank, it will be ascending. If you want descending, DESC. So it's sorting on the descending order. Okay, boss. Next, I want to read two columns. I want to read customer ID and company name both. Then I'll say what? Select customer ID and what? You separate, when you want to have multiple list of columns, you separate them with commas here. Open SQL type lo comma akkada undadu kada idu untundi comma. So column 1, comma, column 2, comma, column 3. You listed all the columns what you want. Customer ID and the company name. So, now I would like to get into where class now. So I've got customer ID, company name, and what? Country, which is the three columns. But I do not see all the customers. I just want to see only where country name is equal to USA. Is my country aggregated column or non-aggregated column? Non-aggregated, aggregated column. So I can use this filtering option in where class. So I'll just select customer ID. You can see what are the column you're using in the where class. You can use this in the projection. You may not use this in the project depending on your requirement. తెలుసాలి కదా యూఎస్పీ వచ్చినట్టు అని సో you see only customers of US sellers. So I'll say where country name is equal to US sellers. Okay. You can use any kind of now can we have multiple conditions. I would like to say where country name is USA and Newark. If you look at this country USA and then Newark. So I have only how many customers? These are the 4 customers who belong to USA and Newark. So it's an AND operator. Where I say where country is equal to USA and city name. And when I say AND means what? It only returns me the records which satisfy both the conditions. So just list me those 4 customers. William Nalaguru, right? And that's fine. And I can also have a reverse of the condition by using not operator. If I say not country equal to USA, it shows me all other than USA. Okay.
Generally in the web, people say not use not because it will affect the performance.
What
is the case here, right?
What? Yeah. It's like normal because when you use not, they do not use indexing. That's why the performance is bad. Then I can use OR operator. No, so I'm saying select customer ID. So I just want to see only those customers who belong to USA and UK. These are the set of customers here. Okay. So I would like to say where country name is equal to USA or what? Or country or. So either condition is satisfied, it returns me the result. Yeah. So you get to see all of them. Okay. And when you have list of values to be specified, I can also use in operator. I can say where country name in USA, comma value UK, and we can give list of values like this by using in operators. Okay. Is it same like OR class? Yes. Yes. And I can use like operator when you want, and you can use wildcards here. ఇక్కడ మనకు percentage symbol indicates n number of characters after. So I would like to see all those records where my country name starts with U. After it starts with U, it could be any number of characters. So UK starts with U, USA starts with U, yeah. So it's showing me almost 16. So it's showing me customers who belong to USA and UK. But see, I also have a wildcard underscore, which represents only single character. So I'm saying where country name like U underscore means it should first character should be U, and there should be any second character. But if it doesn't accept the string with third character, only it should be of length 2 characters starting with U. So underscore represents only single characters, and percentage indicates n number of characters. So the country which starts with U and the length is 2 characters is what? Only UK. So it shows me only the countries, customers of country UK. And I can also have multiple conditions written and by using AND operator and OR. General OR means what? Either condition, and is what? Multiple conditions. All the conditions must be satisfied. So when you have multiple conditions written, so you need to understand the precedence. So if I write like this, so I got country name equal to USA or country name is equal to UK and this, okay. So if I write like this, if it takes this condition first, if it takes these two first, if it takes saying country name equal to UK and region equal to North America, then it returns me some customers, and those result it goes with R, then there might be some difference in the results. So we need to explicitly control which conditions should be checked first, precedence, okay. Then I can use parentheses for it. If I just say, if I put this in brackets, parameters, parenthesis, then this condition is like 1, and then the result of it will be with this. You can also use this. You could go to pet coaching. Can read. So then what happens? So this is like all together is like condition 1, and then this condition. Now the system understands so which condition should be executed with R, which then the result has to be what should be joined with AND. So you can understand the joint precedence like. Obviously, it will show only USA because UK does not belong to North America. We can also use simple operators like logical like if you select star from customer where customer ID equal to 1, only where customer ID 1 comes in. You can say less than 5, so it shows me all the customers where customer ID is less than 5. Yeah. When okay. Greater than 10, yeah. It shows me all those customers who are where the customer ID is greater than 10. Yes, any of this logic, and you can use for not equal to, we can use 2 operators here. One is hyphen equal to, because this is more based out of C++ language. So we can either use hyphen equal to or not equal to. Either options you can use for not equal to. So not equal to 1, so it shows me all except the customer ID ones. You get all other than 1. Same way, even this gives you same result, not equal to, other than 1. Say greater than or equal to, again you can say 110. So it shows 110 and greater than that. And we can also have between operator. I can say where customer ID between 1 and 5. So it shows me all the customers who are between 1 and 5. Okay, boss. And if I say not between, then what? Not between 6 and those. And normally in above you see is initial, right? Here you see is null or is not null. Now when you say is null, it shows. It's just showing me a record where my order date is what? When I say order date is null, it's showing you only those records where order date is blank. Okay. Other reverse ante not null is what? Which is never a blank. So it will show me those records where order date is never a blank. Yeah? Is initial, is not initial, is null, is not null. Okay. something new you find. So we also have predicate called contains. Like we also have something called contains. Could you much point is So select star from this table where contains company name, the column where we have to do lookup, and the value what we have to do, Zap Corp. So it shows me all the customers which contains the company name as Zap Corp. So it is only showing me which is exactly matching to that name. Is it same as like saying select star from this table where customer name is equal to Zap Corp? Yeah. Like this, I can use contains. Now within contains there is in HANA we will have something called fuzzy search, fault tolerant search. We will have an option called fault tolerant search, which is referred as fuzzy search. Say for example, normally I am trying to search for something like car. It should show me all those names which is more relevant to that car. Say carb zap, there might be some customer with the name zap carb, there might be some customer with saying carb zap, some big name, but anyone who holds that name carb should give me, it should give me in the result. I know zap carb is the exact match, but even though there are some entries which not exactly matching, but near to that also should be returning me out. That is what we can control with the fuzzy search. Fault tolerant search ante search tappe kan kavalana, I want that result. Yeah, something like find. Now look at this. And what happens when you go with fuzzy search? Whenever you want to go with fuzzy search, you must go with contains operator, and fuzzy search will work with something like score. What it does is, let's say you say you are trying to search for some string. If it exactly matches, it gives weightage as 1. So what, based on the matching pattern, it gives some weightage. It gives you some score. So when you're reading, you can say, give me results based on this scoring and on. Scoring, but the results also. I can control that. We'll see that. I'm saying select star. Don't. Okay, just say the score is a function to see the score. What weightage has been assigned to that string. From customer where contains company name as Zap Corp. What is the string you're searching? Zap Corp. Okay, and I'm giving another parameter. Weightage is 0.5. Means I'm okay till weightage to be allocated as 0.5. Okay, result should be within 0.5 result. Okay. Let's execute this. So it will show me different names. Look at this. There is a Boya Carp. It is giving me that. There are some name BCD Carp. Even that has come. Why? Actually, the string what I'm trying to search for is what? Zap Carp. So this part of Carp was matching in this name, and this Carp was matching in this name. It has brought out. Look at the scoring, and this was an exact match, right? So the score is what? 1.
Wow.
This is half way it is matched, so 0.5. This is some way it is matched, so 0.5%. It has assigned a score like that. So if I still go down, it can even give some junk values still further. I say I'm okay with till 0.3. If there's something till, look at this, there's one more entry, Janira Carp. Carp would match well. CEO match match in. Just 2 characters were matching within this. So the weightage is 0.3. The fault tolerant search is what fuzzy search is. Okay, boss? Yeah. ఏం లేదన్నా 1 అంటే క్లోజ్లీ మ్యాచ్ 0 పాయింట్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందండి 0.1 0.2 0.9 లాస్ట్ 1 వస్తుంది అంతే కదండి 0 to 1 నంబర్ రేంజ్ 0 to 1 1 is the closest exact match 0 అంటే ఇంకా అస్సలు మ్యాచ్ లేదన్నట్టు దీని మధ్యలో వెయిటేజ్ ఇచ్చుకుంటూ పోతుంది 0.1 0.3 స్టార్ట్స్ గివింగ్ సమ్ వెయిటేజ్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ ఆఫ్ ది మ్యాచింగ్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఇష్టాసరం వస్తాయి Not such is yelling.
Sir. Hello.
If you see this name, aim led dantlo. Carp led aim led. It's something like 0.03 is the match. First bit is 5.0. Nene bit. 5.0 లేదు 0.5 నాకు తెలుసు 0 నుంచి 1 వరకు నాకు తెలుసు
Sir, limit and offset and between and same purpose or different, sir?
The limit offset we deal with the number of row number wise. This could be any normal non-aggregate fields. We can use it. You can place some where class conditioning, then you use between. Range laga. Okay. But range is applied on a non-aggregate field, a column of a table. Yeah? Okay, then on the output. Yes, for you to see what score has been assigned, I'm just putting that. I can just use it. And moreover, when they develop some Java applications, they have something like Ajax. Okay, so in the text box, when they type in, they get to see the nearest strings. For when you want to simulate that kind of aspect in when you're developing a native application development, we use this for this search. So I'll have a text box enabled with this for the search selection in the backend. As soon as you type in COR and no which weight is, but it shows all the possible values. You can choose. User can choose. Okay. Next, we have a lot of aggregation functions. Sum of, min of, max of, average of, lots of stuff. Now we would refer to this table fact sales. I would refer to this fact sales, and I would like to get the total net sales. I would see this. This is my total net sales. Okay, so I can say sum. I'll just select sum of net sales as what? Total sales from facts. See here, I am using aggregation function, but I am using group by. No, right? So when you have an aggregation function associated with some non-aggregation fields in the projection, then group by comes on. Otherwise, no. Yeah. So I'm just using just an aggregation function. Just gives me total net sales, and whatever you see 7769 is the same result. Okay. And count of star will give you what? I just want to get number of records of the table. Okay, and I want to collect this into variable. I'll say as okay, and then I'll say min of net sales will give you what? Min. I know there is a 0. Minimum value of net sales was 0, and there was some max. I want to get. I can also go with max, min, max, count, all this. Okay, boss. I can also go with average, total value divided by number of entries. It does it. Yeah. Now this is important. Customer ID. So I'm saying from this fact sales, this is what I want. I want to see if I just don't take customer, it just give me total sum, right? I want this total sum to be grouped specific to each customer. For customer ID 1, what is my total sales? For 2, I want my grouping of net sales to be specific to customer ID. Then I'll say I would like to see sum of net sales, which is total sales, and I also want to see the customer ID from this table. It says group because group by are not specified. See, whenever I have an aggregation function associated with the non-aggregation field, I'm saying what? I'm saying these records must be grouped by adding this net sales. Now how? Again, then I need to group this customer ID also. Common customers must be grouped. Then I'll say what? This is how is grouped by customer ID. It is important. Whenever I use an aggregation function associated with the non-aggregation fields, all the non-aggregation fields must be specified in the group by function. Group by class. Now it will group the records based on customer. For each of the customer, it gives you the sum of it. So customer ID is 17. You get to see totals for each customer. Okay. So now this time I would like to see product. I would like to see total net sales, customer ID and product. Now how many non-aggregation fields do I have here? 2. So both must be there in the group. So what it does? Now system will create a group by for every combination of customer and a product. One customer is dealing with 5 products, it creates 5 combinations. Customer 1 with P1, C1, P2, C1, P3, C1, P4, C1, P5. For every combination, it creates an aggregation file. Okay, boss? Now I have a requirement. Now this is fine, yeah. But showing me all those entries, group by everything is ready. But see, I see net sales like 8 lakhs and 2 lakhs something. Same query, I would like to see only those records where my net sales is less than 1 lakh. మనకు తెలుసు కదా where their net sales less than 1 lakh. ఇది ఎర్రర్ అర్థం చేసుకున్నా. Incorrect syntax near where. So since you're doing it on having where sum of net sales less than 1 lakh. So whenever you want to do a row level restriction based on aggregated field, it must be having clause. ఎందుకు ఇస్తుంది? ఏమేరు ఓకే the same our ledger only about 50,000 పెట్టాడు అంత okay. Then I can also use what is this here? I can use order by, yes. So order by will do what? Sort. If I don't specify any order by must be the last clause of the select statement always, yeah. And having must be after group by. Okay. Having must be after group by and order by must be the last clause of the select always. So same result, but I'm just ordering based on the customer ID with ascending order. Okay, see customer ID 1 starts up. Same thing if I said, if I use a key, if I don't specify anything, by default ascending ASC. If I want descending, I can explicitly use a keyword what? DSC will go with this. So you see the customer with 122 first. Then I can also use this, start using this next class of what? Limit. Okay. See, this is formatting a lot of rows, but out of those rows, I just want to see only first 5 rows. Then I can either use top, I know I can use top 5 or what? Limit 5 also. So this will just limit me only first 5 records of the result set. First it execute the result set, but within the result set, it will just show me only top 5, okay? But if I say like this, limit 5 offset 10 means what? After the entire result, you just take this result, lot of rows. This is the 11th record, 31,709. Yeah. So I'm saying limit only 5, offset 10. So 10 records must be removed. First 10 records are gone out and you will be removed, and then it shows 5th, 6th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 5 records. Like this, you can leverage limit and offsets. So we'll get on this to next class. We'll stop it here. Okay. We have joins. We'll go next. We'll see in the next class. So we'll meet on Monday. Okay. Thanks. How to change the table definition if requirement is to add extra column to same table? I've been is asking there's a table already defined and you want to change the table of the column by adding a new column. alter table, add column name, data type is add అయిపోతాం. Okay. Add column అనల్లా. అంతేపా. Okay.
So when can we expect the recordings?
Yeah, today they're sending. After the class, I think within 1-2 hours you should receive it.
Okay.
One more thing, sir. Alter index means.
Can you speak
how
bit
it
louder,
works,
please? Sir, a bit louder, please.
Sir, alter index means if you have already created index and based on certain fields, we can add or delete that fields, or how it will work, sir? Alter index.
Alter index is not for changing the column definitions. It's for rebuilding the index, refreshing indexes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
సార్ మనకు ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ అయి ఉంటుంది కదా సార్, దానికి మనము 16 ప్రైమరీ ఫీల్డ్స్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఆ టేబుల్ కి మనకి ఏది ప్రైమరీ ఫీల్డ్ మనకి ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది సార్? ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ అయిన టేబుల్ కి ఏది
ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేటెడ్ టేబుల్ ప్రైమరీ చూస్తే తెలుసు.
ఇప్పుడు ఒక టేబుల్ వేరే వాళ్ళకి
ఇప్పుడు చూస్తే తెలుసు. ఇప్పుడు కీ చెక్ బాక్స్ సెలెక్ట్, దీన్ని బట్టి అర్థమైంది కదా.
ఓకే
ఓకే
ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఇంకా ఓకేనా?
So practicing server access is sir. So for that one, whatever tables are given, so data is available, or how we need to dump that data, sir?
See, these tables, right? The 3 tables I was using: customer, pack, sales, and product. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
ఈ టేబుల్స్ అంటే I think I've given మీ ముందు బ్యాచ్ వాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చినట్టు.
Because we want to manipulate select statement, we need the data.
Yeah.
ఈ 3 tables ఇవ్వండి సార్, అవి యూజ్ అయితే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయడానికి.
ఇస్తాను. See, we can export like this. See, ఒకసారి బస్ I'm going to send you an export right today.
Okay.
ఇలా వస్తుంది. 3 tables కి ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ ఇస్తాను. For example, right click on this table and say export అంటాను. Okay, then I want product. How do you should know how to import it when I send it. Okay, I'm just sending you. I export this catalog objects with the data CSV file, include dependencies. Okay, export to XS8 exporter. Should the folder automatically created. ఇక్కడ అది సీలో వినట్టు దీన్ని. Yeah, so this will be export folder. See?
T.
Okay. So I'll be sending you this folder to you. Okay.
Okay.
So మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే, but in your system, your schema name what you're practicing might be different, right? It need not be QXSQL, it will be your name, say Kishore. So నువ్వేం చేయాలంటే, you have to get inside this folder, get inside include, ఇది QXSQL ఉంది కదా boss. Rename this with your schema, say Kishore. Okay.
Okay.
Now again, ఇంకా ఉంది. Go into every, you'll have SQL file. Open this in notepad. దీంట్లో కూడా ఇక్కడ స్కీమా పేరు ఉంటుంది ఫస్ట్ లో. కిషోర్. ఓకే. Only the SQL files. Table you don't have. Next. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have to go to another. then you would change this. నువ్వు అలాగే ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, చేసుకుంటే క్యూబెక్స్ SQL అని వస్తుంది అన్నట్టు.
Okay.
Now once I've done this, once I've done this, you can ఇట్లా ఎలా ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి now. సో మనం ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకుంటే కిషోర్ అండ్ ఫామ్ కావాలి, రైట్ ఫైల్ అండ్ ఆల్సో వాట్ ఇంపోర్ట్. నీకు ఇచ్చిన ఫోల్డర్ ఎలా ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, HANA ఉంటుంది. when you say import HANA and HANA content, expand HANA, then what is a catalog objects, import from ఇది మన ఫోల్డర్ ఏందన్నా, just give the folder name, give folder what I give you, మూడు టేబుల్స్ కనిపిస్తాయి, just add and say next, replace existing catalog if there is already there. KISHOR. So it is created a schema called Kishore and with those 3 tables and the data in it. Data already. Did I say with the data or not? మనకు డేటా రాలేదా, సిఎస్వి పెట్టినా కదా, పెట్టలేదా? No, didn't I export with the database? తెలియదా? అంతే. CSV if I export with the data, then you will have this also. Cubex SQL
కడకపోద్యా
ಈಗ ನಾ ಚೆಕ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ చేసినట్టున్నా, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ డేటా అంతే. సో నా అంతే 9 ఫినిష్
9
పోద్యా. సో
it was D. Now ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే you have to modify this SQL file, okay, and also there will be a control file. The control file కూడా you have a table. Actually try to open all those files, make sure wherever it is using Cubex SQL, try to rename that your own schema name. Then just normal import. You format schema, tables, and then the data comes in automatically. Okay. Okay, boss. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, I have one more doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, like in previous class you said like when we create a user, there will be schema created with his name, right?
Yes. Yes.
So can we create another schema in that user, particular user?
You can create
another schema.
You can create.
But when I tried creating another schema, like it was showing like error, we cannot create. Like when I
means you're not authorized to do that. You do not have access to do that.
So if I'm creating a user X, so I'll be the X person with the username and password. So when I'm creating the another schema, I'm logged into that with that X username and password, then I should be able to create another schema also in that X, right?
Not X. See, X is user, right?
Yes, yes.
Person X.
Can you show me that like?
Person X should be authorized to do that. See, I'm connected with what now? System user, right? When I say create schema, I'm able to do this because I have authorizations to do that.
Yes, okay. Okay, so when we are, what you meant is like when we are creating a new user, like it should be having that permission.
Exactly.
To create that.
Yeah.
How can we check that if we have the permission or not? Like Do we have any
talent ledana, but actually there was something called system privileges here.
okay.
So there will be a lot, but we cannot exactly say which privileges for exactly for schema because I'm not so strong in auth security. But
So this is not our modeling part, right? This is admin part mostly.
yeah, most admin, but I'm not strong. But still, see, there's something like create
Okay.
schema. There is a system privilege called create schema.
Okay.
You know, if I think if you do not have this privilege, obviously you will not be able to create a schema.
So I just wanted to check like if you can create a many schemas in one particular user. Okay, I just got it. Okay, thank you, sir.
Oh, okay.